Hi, my name's Anita, and I'm from Maryland, and I'm going to tell you what the divine will means to me. In 1997, I was praying my rosary as I was driving to work, and I prayed the Our Father, and all of a sudden I came to the words I always said, which was, Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And I thought, oh, Thy will be done. And I thought, oh, what is that? I never really thought about that. And then I thought, well, I want God's will to be done. Yes, and if it's done on earth as it is in heaven, then that's a really good thing. So I went about my prayers and didn't really think anything more about it until 2 weeks later. And there was a conference in Emmitsburg, Maryland, and it was a Divine Will conference. And someone said, do you want to go to this? It's about Luisa Piccarreta, and told me a little bit about her. And I said, well, that sounds so interesting. And 64 years, Eucharist alone, and this priest was going to be there. And I said, yes. So kind of a fiat right there. And I went and was astonished to hear that it was about Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So I thought this was just something that the Lord just gave me, and it explained this prayer that Jesus gave to his disciples so clearly that I wanted to know more. Not only did I want to know more, I went after it like it was the greatest thing and it might run out before I could get enough of it. So I immediately found information and books and prayers about the divine will and Luisa Piccarreta. I did this pretty much on my own for almost 9 years. I read the writings of Luisa. I practiced the Hours of the Passion. I read the Blessed Mother book. And then one time I said, this is wonderful. I'm being instructed. 19 volumes. And I went, and it helped me during that time. As I was reading the volumes of Luisa, I went through some real tough times, real struggles, where I, without this, I would probably have been, I don't know, a meltdown, a total, really unhappy, desperate, despondent. But with the will of God, I felt with fusing my will with our Lord's and giving my fiat, it was not so hard. It was easier, and I realized this was just the best thing ever, ever, ever. And so to know Luisa, to love her for being the secretary for Jesus of these writings is a true blessing. And I've been able to share that with other people, and they have come to know her and love the Holy Divine Will. And I can only say thank you to Jesus for finding Luisa to give to us, because her little way of being the smallest soul, and if she could do it, we could, made it so much easier to embrace, because I'm not the holy person that can do novenas and rosary, but it did increase the depth of my spirituality, and it made me peaceful and grateful. And so that's my story. Thank you.
My name is Mike Diffin, and I live in Dallas, Texas. And I would like to talk a little bit about the Divine Will, and I hope to do it justice in what I can say. I'd like to start basically just thanking God for this gift of the Divine Will, because I have realized over the years it is a gift of God, and how fortunate I am that He has kind of gave me the privilege to receive the knowledge of the Divine Will. Back in 1996, I went to a talk from Father John Brown, who was coming around to Dallas area talking about the Divine Will. And it just something intrigued me about it. So me and my wife went that night, and I heard him talk about this mystic, Luisa Piccarreta. And since I was kind of interested in the will of God, and I thought I'd read a lot of books, and I thought I kind of knew something about it, but I didn't. I thought it was the same thing, will of God. And so I went to the retreat, and what I heard is this Luisa Piccarreta, and just her name and divine will just got my interest immediately. And as I sat there, I just something about it, and I couldn't really explain it. So that night, they were selling some little books on the divine will, and I picked one up, a small little book, kind of explaining it. And I got in the car with my wife and turned to her. She turned to me, and I said, I don't know what that was, but this is it. And my soul recognized it, not really my intellect, but that was it. And I got home that night, I read the little book, and I just was inspired from that point on to really try to learn as much as I could about the divine will and Luisa. And the journey for the last, I guess, 13 years now that I've been trying to study this has been quite remarkable. And I just like to, tell everybody that maybe will see this, that it's for everyone. It's God's calling everyone to holiness, and especially His most holy divine will. And if a simple person as myself really could understand this and kind of try to live it, and that's the hard part, living it, the lessons that Luisa is trying to give us, and trying to emulate her life, her hiddenness and her obedience to God, I think that's probably everybody in this world could probably do it. Again, I'd just like to thank God for this opportunity to spread the word of Luisa, and thank you for everybody that's at this retreat today, and especially the people that are making it possible for you to see me. God bless.